Welcome back, bandits. Eddie's here, the best ball bandit. It's been about a week since I recorded. I was in California playing a little golf for 4 days in PGA West. Got the new Best Ball Bandit golf hat on. It is available for sale. Please send me a message. It is $40 and it's yours. We're going to talk about how many wide receivers should we be drafting before round 10. We're going to hop into a draft. I signed up for the Pitbull draft, so we're going to hop right on in. Got the number one pick, so I am going to go Jahmyr Gibbs. But before all that, we're going to hop into the intro.
Oh.
Welcome back. Welcome back. So I did go Jahmyr Gibbs with the first pick overall. I haven't been getting the first or second pick, so I'm pretty excited that I was able to get the first pick overall. And since I did go Jahmyr Gibbs with pick one, I am going to try to go 6 wide receivers back to back to back. It really depends on what pick you have, what strategy you're going for. With a elite running back, with a hero running back, I do want to go ahead and assume that he's going to be hitting my lineup every week, of course, potentially giving me 15 to 20 points. I do want to try to get 6 wide receivers in the range of the top, 7 rounds, so top 80 receiver or ADP receivers or so. So that's pretty much going to be my strategy for this draft. Let's see what comes back around to us in the second round and beginning of the third round. Of course, this is a strategy that I have in mind, but if some great value does drop to me, then I will pivot and adjust accordingly. But thank you all for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. I have 30 subscribers. I started this channel about 3 weeks ago. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. I've been playing best ball for the last 3 years. Last year, I won the Pointer. It was first place out of over 20,000. I was also 10th place in the Chow Chow. And I had 2 teams in the Puppy in the final. So I was very fortunate. Last year was an amazing year. I've been playing fantasy football for over 20 years. It's something that I love to do. Also play golf. So big into golf and fantasy football. As you can see, this is a Best Ball Bandit show. This is a Best Ball Bandit golf. We got some golf content that I'm creating as well. I'm going to have a channel for that. But this is fantasy football. I wanted to wear the hat in honor of the U.S. Open that's going on right now. But with fantasy football, a lot's been going on. There's been a lot with Rashee Rice being released from jail, of course. Some news about Deshaun Watson not looking so great in OTAs. So there's been some news as of late. Omarion Hampton is reminded of Terrell Davis, an elite running back, of course. So been some talk in the in training camp and OTAs. So we're gonna try to capitalize on that. And then also some players that have been injured. We definitely want to capitalize on that as well. I always think of the Warren Buffett, motto or his saying, where it's, basically buy when those are scared, when those people are scared, and sell when people are greedy. So you want to buy when others are afraid of certain draft picks, Rashee Rice, Malik Neighbors, depending on the value, depending where they drop. You definitely want to buy when others are scared, and you want to sell when others are greedy. So, Devon Achane, I'm not clicking him so much. I feel like he had an amazing year last year. The scenario is completely different this year for him. A worse offense, a running quarterback. So I'm not really clicking on Devon Achane. Another player that hasn't been picked yet, actually, Kenneth Walker. I pick him from time to time, but he's really not anybody that I'm really targeting. He is definitely a good pick. I think I would prefer him in the third round, but not to say he can't pay off at his value in the second round. But we're seeing A.J. Brown got picked and Brock Bowers a little early. Breece Hall gets picked earlier. So we might actually get some value that comes to us. So let's see. I'm 1 pick away. All right, so we're actually able to implement what I wanted to do. We get Nico Collins and George Pickens. Nico Collins has an ADP of 22.4. We got him at a slight discount, which is always nice. And George Pickens, ADP of 23.2, another slight discount. You know what? We haven't streamed in a week. We're going to sound the siren. A little 2 ADP discount for Nico Collins. Welcome to the Best Ball Bandit squad. So we got Jahmyr Gibbs, Nico Collins, and George Pickens to start off the team. I really like that start. During the fantasy playoffs, week 15 through 17, the Detroit Lions are going to be playing a pretty favorable schedule, I would say. It's nice because I could try to pair Jahmyr Gibbs with Jared Goff later on. They're playing the Vikings, the Giants, and the Bears. And then we have the Dallas Cowboys playing the Rams, Jaguars, and Giants. And Nico Collins, the Texans, are playing Jaguars, Eagles, and Packers. So if we can get some Jaguar players there, it would be some correlation with the Cowboys and then also some correlation with the Texans. So we're definitely going to try to get Brian Thomas Jr., which is somebody that I've been targeting a lot. He's been having an amazing OTAs. He's the talk of the OTAs. He's one of the players I've drafted the most of. I want to say I have over 25% of Brian Thomas Jr. During the post-draft. So for the new contest, I'm going to actually check my exposure right now, but I am definitely extremely high on Brian Thomas Jr. this year. And out of the post-draft, I've done 113 drafts, and I have 28% Brian Thomas Jr. So as I mentioned, I'm definitely extremely high on Brian Thomas Jr. this year, especially at the ADP cost. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. It's one of the easiest clicks on the board, I think. But yeah, I haven't streamed for about a week, so hope you all are tuning in and get to watch this stream. Please like and subscribe once again. I also have a website, bestballbandit.com. I went out to PGA West in La Quinta, California, and I live in Miami, so it's hot down here, it's humid down here, but the weather was definitely different out in California. And I've played a lot of desert golf in Arizona and Nevada, and in California, but it was about 107, 106 degrees, dry heat, but golf courses were absolutely stunning. So it was definitely an amazing experience. I play some tunes, and yeah, we're back at it. We're about 3 months away from the start of the season. Fantasy football is underway. We're trying to capitalize. We're trying to capitalize on ADP value. We're trying to capitalize on news. And I like our start right now. We got that one running back as we wanted. We got 2 elite wide receivers. And I am picking in 2 picks. All right, so Mike Evans does go. I was hoping he would fall, but we actually get to get Jameson Williams, which is paired with Jahmyr Gibbs. And I love Davante Adams as well. We want wide receivers that get in the end zone, and Davante Adams definitely gets in the end zone. The Los Angeles Rams are playing the Dallas Cowboys, so I love that correlation. They play them in week 15, and we're going to hope to get Brian Thomas Jr. on the way back. So liking the start to this team so far. We got, once again, Jahmyr Gibbs, Nico Collins, George Pickens, J-Mo, and Davante Adams. Let's go. We're cooking over here. Some other builds. Jamar Chase was taken second. Don't really like that team. The 12th hole took James Cook. The 11th hole took James Cook, Derrick Henry, Javonte Williams, and Josh Jacobs. Not a bad start there. He'll probably stop at 4 running backs and just load up on wide receivers. And then the 12th hole did similar to me. I can't believe Justin Jefferson fell to the 12th hole. I can't remember the last time I saw that. With James Cook and Amari Hampton pick before him. But, I mean, you'll see a lot of variance in the draft rooms. So once again, how many wide receivers do you want before round 10? I want 6. I want 6 wide receivers. I want 2 running backs. I want 2 tight ends. Or ideally, a quarterback, 1 tight end, 2 running backs, and 6 wide receivers. But let's say we are picking, and in that range that we're picking, DK Metcalf would be there. Alec Pierce would be there, which allows us to get Daniel Jones later on. There's not really a running back that I love in those picks. Marvin Harrison Jr., I would love if he can fall. So Brian Thomas Jr. does go to the drafter that had 4 running backs. Definitely ahead of ADP. Actually, no, at ADP. Wow, Brian Thomas Jr. has risen in ADP value. It's been a week, and he's definitely skyrocketed up the board. So I'm 3 picks away. Not a huge Parker Washington fan, but I might draft him to get some correlation. The Colts are playing Titans, Bengals, and Browns. Pittsburgh, Ravens, Panthers, and Titans. I am on the clock. Kyle Lemon would be a good fit to this team as well. But I'm going DK Metcalf. I'm going Alec Pierce. So we got 6 wide receivers, all wide receivers that get in the end zone. Alec Pierce, DK Metcalf, Devontae Adams, Jameson Williams, George Pickens, and Nico Collins. We got Jahmyr Gibbs as our stud anchor running back. We got some great quarterbacks that we can pair later on. CJ Stroud, I think he's going to have a bounce back year. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got Daniel Jones. We got Stafford, Goff. I mean, a lot of options later on. So I might actually try to go Laporta and J.K. Dobbins with my next 2 picks and wait on quarterback until the following 2 rounds. Which I do feel like I can get, one of those 2 quarterbacks later on. So I pick, you got to see what the draft room is doing as well. So I'm picking at 120. The 2 drafters before me do have a quarterback. The Puka Nacua drafter does not have a quarterback, so I got to assume that he'll be gone. The St. Brown drafter does not have a quarterback, so I got to assume that St. Brown will be gone. I could get Daniel Jones later. I could get CJ Stroud later. I might not risk it and get Jared Goff on this coming pick. Because there's not going to be a lot of players that are going to be there that I'm going to be really, passing up on or sacrificing. So quarterbacks are going off the board. Mahomes goes, Dak goes. There's several teams that already have 2 quarterbacks. So this is 2 out of 12, 1 out of 6. 1 out of 5, I believe. Let me see what the, yep, 2 out of 12, 1 out of 6, 1 out of 5, and then 156 seat final. We're 3 picks away. I could go quorum to have some correlation. But we do want to capitalize on multiple positions. I do think we're going to go Laporta. We're going to make a bet on... We're going to make a bet on the Lions, and picking at the front or at the back of the drafts, it does limit you on, you know, the strategy and what you can do. So I am going to go... I tried to go Jared Goff there. I was too late, and I got J.K. Dobbins, which is fine. I'm not too upset about that. So we got 6 elite wide receivers, an elite tight end, and we have, I would say, 1 elite running back and a good, solid running back. With our next picks, and that's why it's good to queue up picks, I'm going to queue up George Kittle. I'm going to queue up Aaron Jones. I'm going to queue up Travis Kelce. I'm going to queue up Jaden Higgins. And we're going to wait on quarterback. We're going to wait on CJ Stroud. We're going to wait on Daniel Jones. We're going to wait on Aaron Rodgers. That was my backup plan. And sometimes your backup plan becomes your main plan. I knew Stafford was going to go to the Puka drafter, as I called it. Right now, Goff is going to go. Called it once again. But we're loading up on positions that you need multiple starters for. So actually, I really do like this build. I'm not upset that Jared Goff got picked. I would have gone Jared Goff. It's not the end of the world, though. I was hoping that one of those players would come back to me, but I knew realistically it probably wasn't going to happen. So we are going to go, once again, we might go tight end, if 2 elite tight ends are available. Jordan Love might be available. Baker Mayfield, I could backstack him. Tyler Shuck, I could backstack him as well. So I might go Tyler Shuck and Travis Kelce. Let's see what falls to me. Thanks again for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Would really appreciate it. Trying to get to 100 subscribers. We got 30 right now, people. It's a new channel. I've been streaming for about a month now, 3 weeks. And it's slowly growing organically, so would really appreciate any likes, any shares, any subscribes. Any and every little bit helps. Best Ball Bandit is here. Bandit is my dog's name. Best ball is a form of golf, and of course, what we're playing here, fantasy football. So the name was fitting. We're stealing drafts. We're stealing value. We're being bandits out here. So Kittle does go. I'm going to have the opportunity to go Baker and Tyler Shuck, possibly. We're going Travis Kelce. We're going Travis Kelce, and we are going to go Baker Mayfield. We'll backstack Baker Mayfield later on. I think Baker Mayfield, I mean, he runs the ball. He has a good offense. He plays in great weather most of the time. He's playing the Saints, Falcons, and Rams. We have correlation with Devontae Adams. So I like that pick. Right now we have 2 elite tight ends, 6 elite wide receivers, a great quarterback, an elite, the best running back, and another great running back. So these are the builds that I like. You're dominating, definitely 2 to 3 positions. We're dominating the wide receiver position. We're dominating the tight end position. And I mean, we got the best running back in the game right now with Jahmyr Gibbs. So I'm liking the builds. Tyler Shough goes shortly after I do to nobody that has any correlation. You'll find everything nowadays. Brock Purdy goes to the drafter that doesn't have any correlation either. So it's luck of the draw here. But yeah, if I start off with an elite running back in the beginning of the first draft, I'm going to want to try to hammer wide receiver for the next few rounds. If I have the back end of the draft and I'm not able to get Justin Jefferson, which you typically don't get in pick 11 or 12, I'm more than likely going to be going running back heavy in that scheme or in that team. I'd probably go 3 running backs in the first 4 rounds and get 1 elite wide receiver, and then get wide receivers throughout. Or I would build a similar team to the drafter in the 11th hole, Pepper Tony, where I would go 4 running backs, and then he actually went Lamar Jackson and Trevor Lawrence. I don't like that. I feel like then he's weak on wide receivers. I probably would have gone Christian Watson or Rome Odunze rather, and Brian Thomas Jr., and then quarterbacks at that point. But yeah, there's definitely options. But in this structure that I have, I do like to go elite running back and then tack on as many wide receivers as I find are valuable. And in this case, I did find, wow, CJ Stroud just goes. I did find 6 wide receivers that I really like. So CJ Stroud goes to the Jaden Higgins drafter that has already Bo Nix and Drake May. I don't like that. I mean, they're reaching on an additional quarterback when, not because it affects me, but when their wide receiver room is weak. Michael Wilson is the 3rd wide receiver, but they got no tight ends. Strong running back room, but I don't like that move. It definitely affected me, and I don't like it. We are going to go Daniel Jones. And we're going to go Brenton Strange. And now we're capitalizing on the tight end position. So tight end position, we've dominated. Wide receiver position, we've dominated. We got 2 great quarterbacks that run the football. I don't want to say great Daniel Jones. Let me take that back. 2 quarterbacks that could start and provide 20 points, hopefully on a weekly basis. I will tack on a 3rd quarterback to this team, and I'm thinking it's going to either be Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers. Let's see what falls to us, but that's probably going to be my game plan. I was able to pair Daniel Jones with Alec Pierce. So I love that I was able to stack my number one wide receiver or the number one wide receiver on the team with a quarterback. I'm going to try to get Sean Tucker to pair with Baker Mayfield. Then, as I mentioned, Aaron Rodgers is an option to stack as well with DK Metcalf. So let's see what falls to us. Geno Smith, I could also get AD Mitchell. We got options. We got options, people. All right, so what I always do, I like to allocate points to my players. So Jahmyr Gibbs, let's give him 15 points a week. From my wide receivers, I should be getting 80 points a week from this 6 wide receivers here. So 20, 20, 20, 20, 80 points between 4 of them any given week. So that's, and Jahmyr Gibbs could really give 20 points. Let's say, we're going to say 95 points between these 5 players. 15 points from our tight end position. That's 110 already. And our tight ends are Laporta, Kelsey, and Bretton Strange. That's 110. 20 from our quarterback. That's 130. And if we can get another 5 points from our running back, 5 to 10 points, we're sitting pretty. We're making the playoffs, people. Playoffs? Yeah, we're there. Best Ball Bandit is in the playoffs. Tyjae Spears has gotten some great feedback throughout the OTAs. Zach Charbonnet, they said he could potentially play week 1, or when asked, could he play week 1? They said, yeah, anything's possible. So those are going to be some players I'm targeting as well. Like I said, Sean Tucker. Tank Bigsby might be an option. We're 6 picks away. Let's see what we can get to fall to us. And I like that we went with Baker instead of Tyler Shuck, because it was going to be tough to get Juwan Johnson to come back to us, and we could potentially get Sean Tucker to come back to us. So we'll have a little bit of team correlation if Sean Tucker does land to us. So we might be able to get 2 running backs that I actually like in Zach Charbonnet and Tyjae Spears. That would be amazing. So Zach Charbonnet does go, but Tyjae Spears is there. So we're going Tyjae Spears and Brian Robinson. If anything happens to Bijan Robinson, man, that is so tempting. We're going to go Sean Tucker, as we mentioned, just to get that correlation. I was debating going Aaron Rodgers, going Tank Bigsby, Brian Robinson. There was a lot of options there. Brian Robinson has an ADP of 167, and that was an ADP value for us. We would have gotten him at a slight discount. Actually, he was right on ADP. And it's not so much about ADP value, but it's about having a unique build and a unique team. Pat Freiermuth, Malik Washington. Love me some Malik Washington. Mike Washington might be an option for this team. We could actually stop also at 6 wide receivers with this team, because we don't have any overlapping bye weeks. 13, 9, 11, 6, 14, and 8. I'm really liking this team. So once again, 6 wide receivers through 10 rounds. And then, I mean, you could pretty much stop until the last round or the last 2 rounds. So we started off, once again, Jahmyr Gibbs, and we tacked on 6 elite wide receivers: Nico, George Pickens, J-Mo, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Alec Pierce. I mean, you would assume that 4 of those are going to be hitting the lineup every week. I could potentially add 1 more, but we might add more running backs because this running back room is not the best. It's not horrible, but it's not the best. All right, so some of the players I wanted did just go: Dylan Sampson, Brian Robinson, Aaron Rodgers to the Stroud drafter as well. So Drake May, Bo Nix, Stroud, Aaron Rodgers. I have no idea why he did that. No idea. Probably just to take him from me, honestly. Because why would he get a 4th quarterback when he has Drake May, Bo Nix, and CJ Stroud? He has no correlation with Aaron Rodgers. Yep, I have no idea. AD Mitchell and Malik Washington just go. That's tough. We can go Ted Hurst. We're going to go Ted Hurst and Mike Washington. I don't get Ted Hurst, but I think this is the team to go with Ted Hurst to get some Baker Mayfield correlation. And right now we have 7 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, that's 10, 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs. We're going to end it with either a quarterback or a running back. Not really a whole lot of running backs that I like later on in the draft. So I might actually go with just Deshaun Watson. He might be my last pick. It gives me another quarterback that could hit the lineup on a weekly basis. And we sacrificed running back on this team. You got to sacrifice one position. You can't be great at every position, but we got the best running back. So that's when I like sacrificing the position. When you have a player that he can score alone 30 points any given day, and not any given day, on a great day, of course, but he can have, 140 yards, that's 14 points, 2 touchdowns, that's 26 points, and, 6 catches, that's 3 points. So 29 points on a great day. I am going to queue up Braylon Allen and Jordan James, just in case if they fall. Those would be some good players to get. Thanks for tuning in once again. Please like, subscribe. As I mentioned, I am the Best Ball Bandit. My name's Eddie. I've been doing fantasy football for over 20 years and best ball for the last 3 years. And it's been quite the journey. I won first place in the pointer last year. I got 10th in the Chow Chow and placed in the puppy, 2 different teams in the finals. All right, so we are 7 picks away. Am I okay with just going Baker Mayfield and Daniel Jones on this team? I think I am. So Brilliant Allen goes. Tank Dell, which I would have liked, also goes. So the Aaron Rodgers drafter did draft Washington to pair with him. So I'm really debating here. I think Deshaun Watson's the right pick. I think he'll hit my lineup more than Jordan James. So we went Deshaun Watson. We got 3 quarterbacks: Deshaun Watson, Daniel Jones, and Baker Mayfield. Jahmyr Gibbs, J.K. Dobbins, Tajay Spears, Sean Tucker, Mike Washington Jr., Nico Collins, George Pickens, Jameson Williams, Davante Adams, DK Metcalf, Alec Pierce, and Ted Hurst. Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce, Brenton Strange for our tight ends. If I can go back and make any adjustment, I probably would have, instead of I think there wasn't really a lot that I would change here. I would say the Ted Hurst pick, but there wasn't really a running back that I loved there that I could have gotten, and all the quarterbacks were already gone as well. So I'm pretty happy with this team. I wish that Zach Charbonnet would have fallen to us. But other than that, I mean, I like our structure. I like that we went 6 running backs before round 10. We actually went 6 running backs before round 8 on this one. Then we drafted 2 tight ends by round 10 and another running back. So we had 6 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs in the first 10 rounds. We went quarterback. Then we went with our last quarterback of Deshaun Watson. Thank you all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and I'll be streaming once again in the coming days. So thank you all. Hope you have a great day.